Chapter 1. The Quiet Rebellion. In the bustling suburb of Evergreen Heights, where manicured lawns hid the chaos of modern life, Elias Thompson lived with his family in a modest two-story home that seemed frozen in time. The year was 2025, and the world had long since surrendered to the digital gods. Social media platforms that dictated trends, influencers who peddled illusions of perfection, and algorithms that fed on human insecurities. But Elias, a sturdy man of 45 with calloused hands from years of construction work, had chosen a different path. He and his wife, Maria, raised their two children, Alex and Sophia, with values rooted in faith, hard work, and genuine human connection. No smartphones buzzed on their dinner table. No late-night scrolls disrupted their sleep. They were outliers, relics in a society that worshipped the glow of screens. Elias woke before dawn, as he always did, to the sound of birds chirping outside his window. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of dew on grass. He slipped out of bed quietly, not wanting to wake Maria, who slept peacefully beside him. Downstairs, he brewed a pot of coffee on the old stovetop percolator. None of that pod machine nonsense for him. As the aroma filled the kitchen, he opened his worn Bible, the pages dog-eared from countless readings. "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall," he murmured, reflecting on Proverbs 16:18. It was a verse that had guided him through the temptations of the world. Maria joined him soon after, her dark hair tied back in a simple ponytail. At 42, she was still beautiful in a natural way, untouched by the filters and enhancements that plagued social media feeds. "Morning, love," she said, kissing his cheek. "The kids will be up soon. Alex has that school project due today." Elias nodded, his brow furrowing. Alex, their 16-year-old son, was a bright boy with a passion for history and mechanics. But school had become a battlefield. The other teens were glued to their phones, sharing TikToks and Instagrams, chasing likes and followers. Alex didn't have an account on any platform. His parents had forbidden it, citing the mental health pitfalls they'd read about in books and heard in church sermons. "It's a trap," Elias would say. "Those apps are designed to make you feel inadequate, to compare yourself to strangers who aren't even real." Sophia, their 14-year-old daughter, faced even harsher judgment. Girls her age were obsessed with influencers, makeup gurus with flawless skin, fitness models promoting impossible body standards, and lifestyle vloggers hawking products that promised happiness in a bottle. Sophia's friends, if you could call them that, teased her relentlessly. "You're such a loser, Soph," they'd say in the hallways. "No Insta? How do you even exist?" The isolation gnawed at her, leading to quiet tears in her room at night. Maria would comfort her, reminding her that true worth came from within, not from virtual validation. As the family gathered for breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and fresh fruit, Elias led them in prayer. "Lord, protect us from the snares of this world. Help us stand firm against the tides of sin that pull so many under." Amen echoed around the table, but Alex shifted uncomfortably. Lately, he'd been sneaking glances at his friends' phones during lunch, curious about the world his parents shielded him from. Outside, the neighborhood buzzed with the sins Elias despised. Mrs. Jenkins next door scrolled endlessly through Facebook, her face illuminated by the blue light, fueling her envy of others' vacations and perfect families. It had led to her divorce last year, when her husband couldn't compete with the online fantasies. Across the street, young Timmy, only 12, battled anxiety attacks triggered by cyberbullying on Snapchat. Mental health crises were epidemic, depression rates soared among teens, suicide hotlines overwhelmed. But society blamed everything except the glowing culprits in their pockets. Elias's family was looked down upon for their resistance. At the community barbecue last weekend, whispers followed them. "The Thompsons are so backward," one neighbor said. "No social media? How do they even keep up with the news?" Another laughed. "They're probably anti-vaxxers or something, living in the Stone Age." Elias overheard but said nothing, his jaw clenched. He knew the truth. The world was enslaved to false idols, and his family was free. But freedom came at a cost. That morning, as Elias drove to work in his battered pickup truck, his boss called. "Elias, we need to talk. The company's going digital heavy. Everyone's got to be on the internal app for updates, and we're pushing social promo for projects. You in?" Elias hesitated. He didn't have a smartphone, refused to get one. "I'll manage the old way, boss." "That's not gonna fly anymore. Times are changing." By evening, Elias was jobless. Chapter 2: The Digital Temptations. Maria Thompson had always been the rock of the family, but even rocks could crack under pressure. As Elias broke the news over dinner, her heart sank. Construction jobs were scarce in Evergreen Heights, especially for a man who shunned technology. "We'll figure it out," she said, forcing a smile. But inside, doubt crept in. That night, while the kids slept, Maria sat at the old desktop computer in the study, their only concession to the modern world, used sparingly for emails and research. She typed work-from-home ideas into the search bar, and the results flooded in. Affiliate marketing, blogging, influencer gigs. One article caught her eye. "How I made $10K a month as a mom influencer." Curiosity piqued, she clicked. The page loaded with vibrant images of smiling women in designer clothes, posing with products. "Join the revolution," it read. "Share your life, build a community, earn from sponsors." Maria scrolled, mesmerized. Videos autoplayed, women her age talking about empowerment, but really selling skincare and fashion. Comments gushed, "You're my idol! Goals!" For a moment, she imagined it. Posting family recipes, gaining followers, making money to support Elias. But then she remembered the sermons at church. Vanity, pride, the sin of coveting attention. She closed the tab, but the seed was planted. Meanwhile, Alex lay awake in his room, staring at the ceiling. School had been brutal today. His best friend, Jake, had shown him a viral video of a gamer influencer with millions of followers. "Dude, you could be like him if your parents weren't so strict," Jake said. Alex felt a pang of resentment. Why did his family have to be different? Secretly, he'd borrowed Jake's phone during recess and created a fake account on TikTok. Just to see, he told himself. The app was a vortex. Endless clips of dances, challenges, pranks. But soon, the algorithm fed him darker content. Teens ranting about depression, cutting videos disguised as relatable memes, influencers promoting mental health awareness while subtly advertising therapy apps that cost a fortune. Alex's heart raced. This was the world he'd been missing? It was thrilling and terrifying. Sophia, in the next room, hugged her pillow tightly. Her classmates had started a group chat without her, sharing selfies and gossip. "You're not on Snap? Lame," one girl texted her via the school's email system, the only way Sophia communicated digitally. The exclusion hurt more than words could express. She thought about the influencers they idolized, like Bella Thorne or some new starlet with perfect curves and filtered lives. "If I looked like that, they'd like me," Sophia whispered to herself. Body dysmorphia was rampant among her peers. One girl had been hospitalized for anorexia after obsessing over diet trends online. Sophia knew it was wrong, but the pressure was mounting. The family didn't know it yet, but the cracks were forming. And high above, in the shadows of power, the true architects watched. Chapter 3: The Masquerade Revealed. Unbeknownst to mortals, the world was ruled not by elected leaders or corporations, but by fallen angels who had long ago donned the guises of Greek gods. Lucifer's rebellion had cast them down, but instead of lurking in hell, they ascended to positions of influence, parading as the Olympians of myth, to mock the Creator. Zeus, the thunderous king, was now Zachary Voss, CEO of ThunderTech, the world's largest social media conglomerate. His platform, Bolt, connected billions, fostering pride and envy with every like and share. Athena, goddess of wisdom turned manipulator, was Dr. Athena Hale, head of a global media empire that shaped narratives through news and entertainment. She promoted empowerment that was really lust and greed, her influencers as pawns in a grand game. Poseidon controlled the financial seas as a banking tycoon, drowning societies in debt. Hades oversaw underground networks of vice, drugs, trafficking, while Aphrodite ruled beauty and fashion industries, breeding insecurity and mental anguish. They met in secret boardrooms, their true forms hidden behind human facades, horns and wings cloaked by illusion. "The humans are ripe," Zeus boomed, his voice echoing like thunder. "Social media is our greatest weapon. It amplifies their sins, keeps them divided, distracted from the light." Athena nodded, her eyes gleaming. "Mental health is crumbling. Depression, anxiety, their cries are music to our ears. Influencers spread our gospel: consume, compare, despair. Their goal? To harvest souls through modern sins, ensuring humanity's fall mirrored their own." Elias had no idea of this cosmic conspiracy, but that night, as he prayed in desperation for guidance, a vision came. An angel, radiant and true, appeared in his dream. "The gods of old are fallen ones," the angel said. "They rule through screens, tempting with illusions. Your family is a beacon. Stand firm, and the truth will set you free." Elias awoke sweating, heart pounding. Was it real? He didn't know, but something shifted inside him. Chapter 4. The pressure builds. Days turned to weeks, and the Thompsons' struggles intensified. Elias pounded the pavement for jobs, but every interview demanded digital proficiency. "Do you have LinkedIn?" one recruiter asked. "Twitter for networking?" Elias shook his head, and doors closed. Maria, tempted by the influencer world, secretly signed up for Instagram on the family computer. Just for inspiration, she justified. But soon she was liking posts, following moms who balanced family and fame. One day, she posted a photo of her homemade pie. "Trying this out, #FamilyLife." The likes trickled in, 5, then 10. It felt good, like a drug. Alex's secret TikTok account grew. He started posting videos of his mechanical inventions, gaining a small following. But the comments turned nasty. "Lame, bro. Get a real life. You're ugly." The negativity hit hard, triggering sleepless nights and irritability. He hid it from his parents, but his grades slipped and mood swings emerged, classic signs of social media-induced anxiety. Sophia fared worse. At school, a viral challenge swept through. Post your before and after glow-up or get roasted. Without an account, she was the target. Girls cornered her in the bathroom. "You're so plain, Sophia. No wonder no one likes you." Tears streamed as she ran home, locking herself in her room. Maria found her curled up, sobbing. "I feel so worthless, Mom. Everyone has friends online. I have nothing." Maria's heart broke. "That's not true, sweetie. Those online friends are fake. Real connection is here, with us." But even as she spoke, Maria glanced at her own hidden app, guilt gnawing. Mental health issues plagued their community. The local high school reported a spike in counseling requests, kids overwhelmed by FOMO, cyberbullying, and the constant pressure to perform. Influencers exacerbated it, with mental health days sponsored by energy drinks or apps that tracked moods for data mining. One popular figure, Goddess Glow, a puppet of Aphrodite, posted, "Feeling down? Buy my self-care kit. #HealYourself." Thousands bought in, but the cycle of consumption only deepened the void. Elias noticed the changes in his family. "We need to talk," he said one evening, gathering them in the living room. "This world is trying to pull us apart. I've had a dream about the true powers behind it all." He shared the vision, expecting skepticism. Instead, Alex confessed his TikTok account, Sophia her pain, Maria her Instagram dabble. Tears flowed, but so did relief. They decided to purge the digital temptations, delete accounts, limit computer use. But society pushed back. Neighbors gossiped more viciously. The Thompsons are cultish now. No tech? Freaks. At church, even some members questioned them. How do you spread the word without social media? The family felt isolated, but stronger together. Chapter 5. The First Encounter. One rainy afternoon, Elias received an anonymous package at the door. Inside was a USB drive labeled The Truth. Curious, he plugged it into the computer. Files opened, documents, videos exposing the gods. Leaked emails from ThunderTech showed Zachary Voss manipulating algorithms to promote divisive content, boosting engagement through anger and envy. A video depicted a board meeting where Voss's face flickered, revealing a demonic form. Humans are cattle, he laughed. Feed them sin, harvest their souls. Elias gasped. The angel's words were true. He showed the family, and fear mixed with resolve. We can't ignore this, Elias said. But what can we do? Alex, tech-savvy despite restrictions, suggested starting small, anonymous flyers warning about social media dangers, linking to the fallen gods theory. They distributed them at night, taping to lampposts, slipping under doors. The response was swift, outrage. Conspiracy nuts, online forums buzzed. But some listened. A few families deleted apps, citing improved mental health. The gods noticed. In their ethereal realm, disguised as a penthouse in New York, Zeus thundered. A mortal family defies us? Crush them. Athena smiled slyly. Use their weaknesses. Amplify the pressure. Soon influencers targeted Evergreen Heights. A campaign launched. Embrace modernity or get left behind. Posts flooded feeds, mocking tech-phobes like the Thompsons. Alex's school friends turned hostile, egged on by viral posts. Sophia's bullies escalated, posting edited photos of her online with cruel captions. Maria's old Instagram was hacked, twisted into a parody account. Mental strain peaked. Sophia had a panic attack at school, hyperventilating over the online hate. Alex withdrew, battling depression from troll comments. Even Elias doubted, jobless and mocked. But in their darkest hour, the angel appeared again, this time to all of them in a shared vision. You are not alone. Resist, and others will join. The fallen ones fear unity. Inspired, the family reached out to like-minded souls, church groups, offline communities. A movement began. Unplug for Truth, focusing on mental health recovery through real connections, exposing influencer manipulations. Chapter 6. The Rising Tide. Word spread beyond Evergreen Heights. News outlets, controlled by Athena, tried to discredit them as extremists. But leaks from the USB drive went viral offline, shared via printed copies, word of mouth. Families reported miracles. Kids sleeping better without screens. Couples reconnecting, mental health improving. I was suicidal from Instagram comparisons, one teen confessed at a town hall. Unplugging saved me. The gods panicked. Poseidon crashed economies, causing layoffs to distract. Aphrodite ramped up beauty standards, triggering more body image crises. But the Thompsons persisted. Subplots emerged. Alex befriended a hacker kid who exposed more data on ThunderTech. Sophia started a school club for offline fun, drawing bullied kids. Maria organized moms groups against influencers, highlighting how they profited from insecurities. Elias led protests outside tech offices, chanting, "Down with false gods." Police, influenced by the fallen, arrested him, but the family bailed him out, stronger. Chapter 7. The Confrontation. The sky over Evergreen Heights was bruised with storm clouds as Elias Thompson drove his battered pickup truck toward the gleaming spire of ThunderTech's headquarters in downtown Metropolis, 20 miles from home. It was August 20, 2025, and the air crackled with an unnatural tension, as if the heavens themselves were holding their breath. The invitation from Zachary Voss, CEO of ThunderTech, had arrived via a sleek black envelope slipped under the Thompsons' door, a rarity in their analog world. "Let's discuss your concerns," the letter read.
signed in bold, arrogant strokes. Elias knew this was no mere business meeting.
The angel's warning from his dream echoed in his mind, drawn from Revelation 12:9. The great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Voss was no man. He was Zeus, the fallen angel masquerading as a god. The drive was silent, save for the hum of the engine and the occasional rumble of thunder. Elias gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white, his lips moving in silent prayer. Lord, give me strength, as you did Daniel in the lion's den. He wore his work boots and a faded flannel shirt, a stark contrast to the polished world he was entering. His Bible rested on the passenger seat, open to Revelation 5:5. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has prevailed. It was his shield, his anchor. ThunderTech's headquarters loomed like a modern-day Tower of Babel, a glass monolith reflecting the stormy sky. Its entrance was flanked by digital billboards flashing Bolt app ads: connect, share, be seen. Elias parked in the lot, ignored by valets in crisp uniforms who eyed his truck with disdain. Inside, the lobby was a cathedral of technology: marble floors, holographic displays, and a massive sculpture of a lightning bolt suspended from the ceiling. Employees scurried about, eyes glued to tablets, earbuds whispering algorithms. Elias felt like a stranger in a foreign land, yet he stood tall, guided by Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? A receptionist, her smile as artificial as the filters on Bolt, directed him to the top floor. The elevator ride was suffocating, mirrors reflecting his weathered face endlessly. When the doors opened, Elias stepped into a penthouse office that seemed to defy reality. The walls shimmered with an ethereal glow, and the air was heavy with the scent of ozone, like a storm about to break. Floor-to-ceiling windows revealed Metropolis sprawled below, its lights pulsing like a living organism. At the center of the room stood Zachary Voss, his silver hair catching the dim light, his tailored suit exuding power. But his eyes, those cold, electric blue eyes, betrayed something ancient, something not human. Elias Thompson, Voss said, his voice booming like distant thunder. He gestured to a leather chair across from a massive obsidian desk. Sit. You've caused quite a stir. Elias remained standing, his gaze steady. I'm here to talk truth, Mr. Voss, or should I say Zeus. The room seemed to darken, the air growing colder. Voss's smile faltered, then widened, revealing teeth too perfect, too sharp. Bold words for a mortal. You think you know me? He stepped closer, and for a moment his form flickered, horns curling from his head, wings charred black, eyes glowing like lightning. The illusion of humanity melted away, revealing the fallen angel in all his terrible glory. Elias's heart pounded, but he clutched the Bible in his jacket pocket, drawing strength from Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. He spoke, his voice unwavering. I know what you are. You and your kind, fallen ones, cast out for pride. You parade as gods, but you're nothing but deceivers. As 2 Corinthians 11:14 says, Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Voss laughed, a sound that shook the windows. You quote scripture, yet you stand in my domain. This world worships me, through Bolt, through screens, through the sins we amplify. Pride, envy, lust, they're ours to harvest. And you, a nobody, think you can challenge us? Elias squared his shoulders. I'm not alone. My family, my faith, they're stronger than your lies.
Revelation 5:12 says the Lamb is worthy to receive power and riches and wisdom, not you. The air crackled as Voss's form fully shifted, towering over Elias. His wings unfurled, filling the room with shadows. Join us, Elias. Embrace the power. Your family struggles, jobless, mocked. I can give you wealth, influence. Post one video on Bolt and millions will adore you. Elias shook his head. I'd rather die than bow to you. As in Revelation 13:15, you want worship, but I serve the true God. Voss's eyes flared. Then perish. He raised a hand, and the room erupted in chaos. Lightning arced from the walls, the floor trembled, and a roar like 1,000 storms filled the air. Elias fell to his knees, not in submission, but in prayer. Lord, as in Revelation 12, cast down this dragon, let your light prevail. Back in Evergreen Heights, Maria, Alex, and Sophia sensed the battle.
They'd gathered in the living room, candles lit, Bibles open. Maria led the prayer. Father, protect Elias. As Revelation 7:17 promises, the Lamb who is in the midst of the throne will shepherd them and lead them to living fountains of waters. Guide him now. Alex, his voice shaking, added, Give Dad strength, like the saints in Revelation 14:12 who keep your commandments. Sophia, clutching her mother's hand, whispered, Wipe away our tears, as in Revelation 21:4. Their prayers wove together, a spiritual force rising like incense. In the penthouse, a blinding light pierced the darkness, emanating from Elias. Voss staggered, his form flickering back to human. No, he roared, you cannot! But the light grew, fueled by the family's faith. Other fallen angels appeared. Athena, her owl-like eyes cold. Poseidon, his presence like a tidal wave. Aphrodite, radiating false beauty. They hissed, End him! Elias stood, Bible raised. By the blood of the Lamb, you have no power here. The words echoed Revelation's triumph, and the light intensified, driving the fallen back. The penthouse shook, glass cracking as their illusions shattered. Voss clutched his chest, weakened. This isn't over, mortal. With a final snarl, the fallen vanished, retreating to their hidden realm. Elias collapsed, exhausted but alive, the Bible still in his hand. Chapter 8. Dawn of Redemption. The morning after the confrontation, Evergreen Heights woke to a world subtly changed. The storm clouds had parted, revealing a sky so blue it seemed painted by divine hands. They hissed, End him! Elias stood, Bible raised. By the blood of the Lamb, you have no power here. The words echoed Revelation's triumph, and the light intensified, driving the fallen back. The penthouse shook, glass cracking as their illusions shattered. Voss clutched his chest, weakened. This isn't over, mortal. With a final snarl, the fallen vanished, retreating to their hidden realm. Elias collapsed, exhausted but alive, the Bible still in his hand. Chapter 8. Dawn of Redemption. The morning after the confrontation, Evergreen Heights woke to a world subtly changed. The storm clouds had parted, revealing a sky so blue it seemed painted by divine hands. Elias returned home at dawn, his truck rumbling into the driveway as Maria, Alex, and Sophia rushed out to meet him. The family embraced on the dew-kissed lawn, tears mingling with laughter. You're safe, Maria whispered, her hands cupping his face. What happened? Elias recounted the battle, his voice low with awe. It was like Revelation 19:11. I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he who sat on him was called Faithful and True. God fought for us. Alex, wide-eyed, asked, Did you see them? The fallen angels? Elias nodded, clear as day. But our prayers, your prayers, they were stronger. Sophia hugged him tightly.
I was so scared, Dad, but I kept thinking of Revelation 21:4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. It kept me going. The Thompsons' home became a beacon in the days that followed. News of Elias's stand spread through Evergreen Heights, not via Bolt or social media, but through old-fashioned word of mouth. Neighbors gathered at the community center Elias had helped build, now a hub for Unplug for Truth meetings. The movement had grown, with families across the county deleting apps, reporting clearer minds and lighter hearts. One evening, the Thompsons hosted a meeting in their backyard, string lights casting a warm glow over folding chairs and picnic tables. Mrs. Jenkins, the neighbor whose marriage had crumbled under social media's weight, stood to speak. "I was lost," she said, her voice trembling. "Scrolling Facebook, envying others' lives, ruined my family. Your flyers opened my eyes. I deleted everything, and I'm starting to heal. Thank you." A young man, Timmy's older brother, shared next. "My kid brother was suicidal from Snapchat bullying. We went offline, and he's smiling again. It's like Revelation 22:2. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." Maria, standing beside Elias, squeezed his hand. "This is what God meant for us, to be a remnant, as in Revelation 12:17, standing firm against the dragon's wrath." But the victory wasn't universal. ThunderTech issued a press release, orchestrated by Athena's media empire, calling the Thompsons extremist conspiracy theorists. Local news, influenced by the Fallen, ran segments mocking Unplug for Truth as a cult. Yet cracks appeared in the digital empire. Bolt's user base dropped 15% in a month as mental health advocates, some newly converted from influencer status, spoke out. One, a former star named Leela Goddessglow Carter, contacted the Thompsons. Leela arrived at their home, her designer clothes a stark contrast to their simplicity. "I was Aphrodite's pawn," she confessed, sitting at their kitchen table, promoting her beauty products, pushing girls to hate themselves. "But your flyers, the USB leaks, they woke me up. I deleted my accounts, lost sponsors, but I'm free." Elias smiled. "Welcome to the remnant, Leela. As Revelation 18:4 says, 'Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins.'" Leela nodded, tears in her eyes. "I want to help. I know how they operate, how they manipulate algorithms to amplify despair." With Leela's insider knowledge, the movement gained traction. Alex, now embracing his tech skills for good, worked with his hacker friend to leak more ThunderTech data, exposing how algorithms targeted vulnerable teens with content promoting anxiety and self-harm. Sophia's offline club grew to 50 members, hosting game nights and Bible studies. One girl, Emily, shared, "I was cutting because of Instagram. Your club showed me I'm enough, like Psalm 139:14 says." Maria's mom's group expanded, organizing workshops on mental health without screens. "We're not against technology," Maria told a crowd. "We're against its misuse. Revelation 13 warns of the beast's mark. Don't let it be your phone." Elias found work with a small construction firm that respected his values, no apps required. The family's faith deepened, their home a sanctuary of prayer. But they remained vigilant. The fallen angels, though weakened, hadn't vanished. Rumors swirled of new platforms rising, new influencers emerging under Athena's and Aphrodite's guises. One night, as the family read Revelation together, Elias paused at chapter 21:1. "Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away." He looked at his family, their faces glowing in the candlelight. "This is our hope," he said. "The fallen will fight, but God's kingdom is coming. We're just holding the line." Maria smiled, like the two witnesses in Revelation 11, testifying until the end. Alex added, "And we're not alone anymore." Sophia, now confident, said, "We're the remnant, Dad. We'll keep going." The Thompsons stood united, their battle far from over, but their faith unshakable. Outside, Evergreen Heights slept under a starry sky, unaware of the cosmic war, but touched by a quiet revolution.